A lot of people spend the majority of their life waiting for the perfect time, the perfect person to show up, the perfect situation for them to start whatever goal, whatever project they had in mind, just for them to start. They're waiting for God, this divine presence, to set the entire scene so they can walk in like the guest star and say, action. But that scene never comes, does it? Because nobody is going to start the scene for you. You have to be the person who shows up first, who shows up to write that script, who shows up to put out the costumes, who shows up to set up the background, who shows up first. Because this is your movie at the end of the day. You're the director. And for some people, you're the cast, you're the engineer, you're everything to this movie because it's your dream, it's your passion, and it's your goal. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't set that movie up, it's just not going to happen. And that's when regret creeps in. If it doesn't happen, that was your fault. It was. And I'm here to say, for your future self who never started the movie to begin with, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you never decided to start that movie. And by showing up first, I mean you have to be the one who disciplines yourself. You have to be the one who motivates yourself every single day to reach that goal. You have to be the one who makes the change, who sees themselves right now and decides, I have things to get done and I'm not proud. You have to assess that thought and change your reality. Because your reality isn't impossible to change, I tell you that. It is not impossible to change at all. Now, some people use the fact of their past, the things and experiences they grew up with. Their parents weren't perfect. Their mom wasn't there. Their dad wasn't there. This happened, that happened. I was traumatized. I was hurt. It's not fair. Life isn't fair. Some people have different starting lines in life. A lot of people have an advantage in life. We have Nepo babies. But we also have people who see that they started with one leg instead of two legs in the race. And they work every single day to be just as fast, even faster than people with two legs. I tell you that. And there's people who do work every single day, and they become faster. So a way I like to help myself, because I personally do not think that I started in the beginning of the race fairly. Like I said, life isn't fair. I had to swallow that too. And that's why I can easily spit it out. So, you know what I did? Whatever I lacked, I gave to myself. If I feel like I didn't get enough hugs, I give myself hugs. If I felt like people didn't say I'm proud of you enough, I say it to myself. If I felt like people weren't compassionate, they didn't boost me as much, I felt like they didn't show up for me, I felt like they just weren't there, how I healed myself was I showed up for myself. And I know exactly what I needed because I'm the one who feels it every single day. And by mixing that formula perfectly, I knew exactly what medication that I needed. And I had to sit with myself for a very long time to understand the dosage of medication, to understand where I was sick at, to understand what was hurting me, to prescribe myself. It took a lot of work, and work I mean journaling, and work I mean working out in the gym, and work I mean isolating myself. And isolation is a very slippery slope, y'all. You have to make sure to not lock yourself away, but to be independent enough to completely hear yourself. For your voice in your head to be the loudest one. And then when you have your voice being the loudest one in your head, you now have to dictate between what is the positive voice and what is the negative voice. And then you have to start shrinking that negative voice, because sometimes that negative voice outpowers the positive. I know this stuff, y'all. I know this stuff. It's going to be so loud. And one day you're going to hear, for example, a negative thought. One day you're going to hear, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. Why do you keep pushing? You can't do it. This isn't you. You can't do it. And one day you have to scream at it. You have to yell, yes, I can. Yes, I can. And every single day that you do that, every second that you hear that negative voice and you yell back at it, it's going to shrink. It's going to shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink and go away. But it's like an annoying bug that just won't go away sometimes, you know? But bugs are very tiny. So every month, every 2 weeks, you're going to hear, oh, you can't do it. And what do? You step on that bug. You kill that bug, y'all. You used your strongest foot and you just to that bug. Yeah, exactly. You gotta kill that bug, y'all. But if you had the support you always wanted, would you be who you are today? If your mom was as perfect as she ever could be, if you had the cookie cutter family, if you were raised in a mega mansion where you didn't learn the skills and beliefs and values that you do now, who would you be? Would you be exactly who you are? And don't speak from that self-hate place in your heart, y'all. Do not. Don't even let it look at this video. This video is not for that self-hate part of you. And everybody has it. It's not for that part of you. It's for that part who sees the potential and who sees the goals and who sees little you, your inner child. It's for that person to answer. So I'm asking you again, if you had the perfect cookie cutter life, would you be who you are? And I'm asking you this because I want you to appreciate yourself for a second. Appreciate this armor that through the heat you've built for yourself so you wouldn't burn alive. Appreciate yourself for a second. Say it. Say it. I appreciate myself. Because if I didn't go through that, I would not have known this part of myself. I was brewed in the heat. I'm a diamond. Understand that about yourself. Please understand that about yourself. And when you've brewed yourself out of this heat, and now you're coming out of isolation, and you're now communicating with a bunch of people in this life, because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, y'all. There's a lot of people in this world. And there's some really negative people who find people who are brewed out of gold, who are molded in gold, and they stick their claws in it, and they try to rip that gold off. Because it's not fair. Like I said, it's not fair. They got their scene set up. there are people who are still waiting for their scene to set up. So they see everybody who's worked for that scene, who's disciplined themselves, who's built the background music, who sold all the costumes, and they said they had the scene set up for them. It's not fair. So while I wait for my scene to be set up, I'm gonna break theirs down. So we can be on the same level of not having our scenes set up. It's ridiculous out here, y'all. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a sad, sad place we live in. But, hey, the more I speak about it, the more I motivate people, and the more I am creating a better place. I'm doing some type of impact. And to wrap this video up, show up for yourself. Be exactly who you are. Love yourself, y'all. And keep commenting in the comments, y'all. I love reading y'all's comments so much. Bye, y'all.